Back here on Game Time, I'm your host, Sean Malone. For those of you who get what this is that's playing right now, it's the theme for The Walking Dead. One of my favorite shows on TV right now. It's returning this Sunday. I am too excited. I want to see who they kill off, but at the same time, I don't want to see, because I don't want it to be one of my favorite characters. I don't want Daryl or Rick or Carl. I don't want anyone to die, basically. But they are going to kill people. Lots of people. That's just how the show works. You like a character and they kill them. Let's talk about the other Walking Dead. The New York Giants. My goodness, this is just a terrible, terrible season so far. I mean, the Chicago Bears are notorious for not living up to expectations in big games, especially Jay Cutler. He's got that Tony Romo gene where when you need him most, he'll either really help your team or just kill you. Just absolutely destroy your team. And I thought the Giants were a team that could take advantage of that. Especially when they had a pretty good running game going. Jacobs had a good game for the Giants. But they still couldn't do it. Eli Manning threw 3 interceptions in his game. That matches his season total for all of last year with 15 now on the season. I want to break down his interceptions because a lot of people have been putting the blame on Eli Manning. First and foremost, Eli Manning cannot carry this team. He is a good quarterback, a very, very good quarterback, but he's not on the same level as a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees or a Peyton Manning, where without him, they are lost completely. The Giants are still lost completely, but they can't do everything with just Eli. If the Giants want to be good, they're going to be good with ways other than Eli Manning. They're going to play good defense, and they're going to have to run the ball a little bit too. So let's break down. The first interception, that was a throw to Victor Cruz that almost went the house. That one was 100% Eli Manning's fault. Eli made a bad read and made a bad throw. He did not see the cover corner cutting across, reading Victor Cruz on that curl. Didn't see it. Eli needs to see that. He needs to see that's coming. I'm going to put the blame on him. But that's where the blame for Eli Manning is going to stop. The next interception, Rueben Randle. And this has been a big issue all season long. Rueben Randle is a just an incredibly talented wide receiver. It is fun watching him play because he's that good. But him and Eli Manning aren't on the same page at all. There are so many times Eli thinks Rueben Randle's going to run one direction and he goes the complete other. There's a lot of plays that are set up that way with option routes where if the corner is playing off, like he did in the second interception, you're supposed to take 3 steps and turn around and expect the ball to be already in the air for you. What did Rueben Randle do with the corner playing off in that game? He took 3 steps, he dug his foot into the ground, and then kept running. He tried to fake out the corner. Unfortunately, he also faked out the quarterback. Eli thought Rueben Randle, because the corner was playing off, was going to take the quick hit, make the catch, try and gain a few extra yards, and then get back to the huddle. That's all you have to do in that play. It's something that's laden into offenses across all of sports. As a wide receiver, you aren't just, okay, run my route. If you played anything beyond a JV level, you know it's more than that. You know that if you're playing inside on the slot and the guy who's covering you blitzes, turn around because your football's going to be in your face. You know that if the corner's playing off, turn around and after taking 3 steps, especially if it's not 3rd and long, because you should expect the football. Eli Manning is very good at pre-snap reads. He broke down that the corner was playing off. Rueben Randle did not. So that second interception is to Rueben Randle. That's his fault. The third one, Brandon Myers. I'm sorry, late in the game, 4th quarter, about 2 minutes left, and you drop that, and it gets tipped right to the defense, which is just amazingly always seems to happen. Every time a ball gets tipped in the air for the Giants, it's right to a defender. It happened against the Broncos. It happened against the Cowboys. We've seen it happen again. It's just amazing how unlucky all those tips are. I mean, can the Giants get a break and have a tip go their direction too, at least? I understand the ball's going to be tipped, but does everyone have to go to a defender? It's incredible. Back to Brandon Myers, though. He has to make that catch. You have to make it. You're a receiving tight end. You came into this team, and everyone was saying that your strength is catching the ball. You were a good receiving tight end last year with the Oakland Raiders. Make the catch. I realize you had to go up and get it a little bit, but you still got two hands on it. Shoot, I remember back in high school, if I got one hand on it, my coach would yell at me for not making the catch. Let alone two. I would have to do push-ups. It's incredible. I mean, just make that catch. Give your team a chance. Don't tip it to the opponent. I'm not saying that's what he intended to do, but that's just what always seems to happen. So no, most of this season, the blame is not on Eli Manning. I'm putting 100% of the blame on the offensive line. That's why the offense is poor. The O-line tried to continue to patchwork until they were finally fully turned over, and they couldn't do it. Booth is an okay guard. Will Beatty is not playing like a man who just got a big money extension. David Bass is out. David Deal isn't what he used to be. This is a team that's very poor right now. Justin Pugh, he's not ready yet. That's what everyone said when he got drafted. He's not ready. But he has to play because everyone else is hurt. There's no one else to turn to. Maybe when Chris Snead comes back, Chris Snead can play right guard. You move David Deal back to right tackle. But up until that point, I don't even believe Snead is coming back. I believe they put him on the injury reserve, not the injury reserve designated to return. I believe Snead is done for the season. So the Giants have to stick with this offensive line that they got for right now until David Bass returns. So let's start talking NFL draft. One name all Giants fans should circle and start watching at this point. Jadeveon Clowney. Because as of right now, it's looking like the New York Giants are going to enter the draft with what I believe the number 2 overall pick, because I still think the Jaguars are worse than the Giants. At least the Giants got Eli Manning in a receiving core. The Jaguars just have Justin Blackmon and some guy throwing him passes. I don't even know if it's a real NFL quarterback. Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne. I really don't know if they're NFL quarterbacks anymore. You might as well just pull some guy off the streets. Hey, you want to play quarterback for the Jaguars this weekend? That could be a ticket giveaway. Jacksonville Jaguars, listen, sell tickets with this incentive laid into it. If your ticket gets called during the game, you get to be quarterback. You might as well. I mean, you're not getting much production out of Gabbert. But Jadeveon Clowney, I think the Jaguars may end up worse. Take Teddy Bridgewater out of Louisville. Jadeveon Clowney out of South Carolina. The Giants are notorious for taking the best player available, notorious for drafting defensive ends. And this guy is a machine among men. You know those scenes from Terminator where Arnold Schwarzenegger is just easily making his way through the humans? That's kind of like what Jadeveon Clowney does through an offensive line. We'll be right back after this on Game Time. I'm going to talk David Price, the possible trade that's coming up involving him, and where he could land. I'm going to make some predictions right here on 88.7 WNHU.